Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new video. Today, get some content from Reddit, and more specifically the Squared Circle subreddit, where you can find all your information about wrestling, AEW, WWE, and the rest. One of the biggest things I have to talk about today is Cody Rhodes leaving AEW and joining the WWE. That's clearly the biggest thing that's happening today, and yeah, what a shock, what a surprise. Now Cody Rhodes is a really important person in AEW. He isn't just some random wrestler, he's a EVP. He kind of started the company with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. He was there since the beginning, and it's really hard to imagine him leaving. I know at one point he was a free agent at one point, so him kind of like disappear, like leaving AEW was kind of a weird thing. Everybody's saying, oh, he's gonna be at the Royal Rumble this year, and it didn't happen. And so the fact that he's like gonna be leaving AEW is kind of a big shock, honestly. To be honest, if he is leaving AEW and he is joining the WWE, for example, I wonder how his character will be. I wonder if he's gonna be a heel or a face. Probably a heel because he's leaving AEW, but since if he is going to the WWE, he might be a baby face because the WWE crowd is gonna be like, yay, we got Cody Rhodes back. So yeah, I don't know. And I heard Brandy's leaving as well, so there's gonna be no connection to the Rhodes anymore besides Dustin. Yeah, so this is some big major news. I wonder how AEW is gonna have it. He did leave by putting over Sammy Guevara, but from what it looks like, that might be his last match at Beach Break. And if it is, it was a good match. And if this is his final time in AEW, if he doesn't make any appearances in the next Dynamite, I guess all that I have to say is, you know, good job for Cody Rhodes for starting something new, making sure that there's another place that wrestlers can prosper, not just in the WWE, because Impact honestly kind of self-destructed themselves, and New Japan isn't that popular, and Ring of Honor sadly had to close down, or at least change their new format. But yeah, you know, big ups to Cody Rhodes. We'll see where the future leads to him. He might appear at like Wrestlemania, Money in the Bank. Imagine him winning the Money in the Bank, cashing it in, and become WWE champion, finally reliving that thing. That'd be amazing. But you know, time will tell. He might go there, get a cool, you know, pop, be in an important angle, and then next thing you know, he's back at Stardust, you know. But you know, only Cody Rhodes knows, and right now he's doing what he thinks is best for him and his future and his family. So I think Cody Rhodes leaving AEW, while a big hit to AEW, I think this might be an important decision, because right now the crowds AEW don't really like Cody Rhodes. They're so in the opposition. They kind of see him as a, you know, like a company man, like someone who's fake, who has this fake appearance, unlike someone like CM Punk or Bryan Danielson or even Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. So yeah, but that, you know, Cody Rhodes, I always liked him, and I'm pretty sure wherever he goes, this is like his final run, and he wants to be at the WWE again because that's where he started. Now, no hate to him, all love. I love Cody Rhodes, so I wish him the best. WWE is trying to get Stone Cold to come back in the ring, and this is kind of interesting. You know, Stone Cold, he's not old yet, but he can't do the things he was doing back in the late 90s, even in the 2000s. So he's gonna be really fist, like fighting heavy. Probably gonna be a bunch of punches, you know, a bunch of stunners. And if that's the case, I don't know who he's gonna, you know, feud with. You know, everything is pointed at him feuding with Kevin Owens, which makes sense because he, you know, stunner versus stunner. It's a good way to put Kevin Owens over, since he, you know, he signed a big contract with the WWE again. It makes sense to put him over and make him a threat to all the up-and-coming WWE talent that's gonna come from NXT and anything else, and it's gonna make him, you know, more of a star. If Steve Austin does come back, you know, I would say a good 6, 7, 8 minute match would be good. It shouldn't be wrestling heavy because, you know, he hasn't wrestled in a long time. I'm pretty sure he's gonna like wow everything, and he's gonna put everything in my place. He's gonna show me that he can do like 360 splashes. But I think the match is gonna be a good pop because I think it is happening in Texas, you know, where he's from. And if Kevin Owens just like beats him, that'd be a pretty good, you know, heat, you know, beating the hometown guy. So yeah, Steve Austin coming back, you know, for one more match. Unexpected, but you know, if he does happen, it shouldn't go like past 10 minutes, lower than 10 minutes, you know. Get Austin stuff over, get Owens stuff over. You know, I would consider putting Kevin Owens over, but you know, knowing WWE, they can easily put Stone Cold, squash him in like 2 minutes. If this does happen, you know, Kevin Owens can just say, oh, it didn't really count, out. But in my opinion, Kevin Owens should go over. Steve Austin, you know, he can do appearances. He can get his heat over like in the Raw after WrestleMania. Come back and just give him a stunner and leave. You know, he can like, you know, you got me Kevin Owens, but I'm taking the last laugh. Stuff like that. But, you know, Stone Cold coming back for one more match. Now with the right booking, it could be good. Could be good. Alright, so Paiges comment on a recent Instagram post. Paiges comments on a recent Instagram post made by Zelina Vega. You know, I heard that Paige is bisexual. You know, I think Zelina's gonna have to run it back to Malachi Black, but you know, I don't know if this is not to her being, you know, bi-curious or her, you know, neck being injured, but you know, hey, Paige getting a little freaky. No. So Lita is gonna be wrestling Becky Lynch, and that's gonna be interesting because she was just told, hey, you want to wrestle Becky? She's like, really? And they're like, yeah. She's like, alright, bet. And they did it, and now she's gonna wrestle her at Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia. That's crazy, you know? I wonder how Lita's gonna do. You know, I'm gonna be seeing the clips, I might see the match. You know, clearly Becky's going over, but I think what everybody wants to see is, can Lita still go? Can she perform as good as Trish Stratus did back in SummerSlam 2019? If she can, that's good. I know I saw the moonsault she did in Raw or SmackDown. She did that moonsault pretty good. So we'll see how she does at the Elimination Chamber. So AJ Styles on Edge. There was the time when I thought there would never be an opportunity to wrestle him, and now it's here. The time is limited in which we can pull it off. Whether he or I retire first, who knows, but I want to get that match. I desperately want to get that match. AJ Styles versus Edge is like a dream match I had back in like 2010. Back when TNA was rivaling with the WWE and Edge came back from his injury. Damn, I would have loved seeing that match when they were in their prime. But right now, still seeing that match, that'd be really interesting. That'd be really cool. That's definitely a WrestleMania main event worthy match. The right booking. Knowing it, I'm a little confused because they're both baby faces, especially AJ Styles turning babyface after splitting with Amos. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Are they gonna turn AJ Styles heel again? Is Edge gonna get a heel turn? I don't know. But if that does happen, I already know it's gonna be a banger of a match. You know, psychology would be really good. AJ Styles, great worker. Edge, he's getting better. You know, I'm ready for that match. So this might be the last time we'll ever see the Hardy Boys ever again. Matt and Jeff Hardy Boys final tour starts on March 12th. That's gonna be interesting. So it seems that the Hardy Boys are probably gonna retire, and if this does happen, you know, good for them. You know, they're in their late 40s and they're still doing like high dive, which is impressive. You know, Matt Hardy, he never reached the potential of Jeff did until he was broken, and he never got a chance in the WWE because he was super over when they went back there, and they kind of fumbled it. Had potential when he was woken, fumbled that. I think when he got injured, and he just left, and he never really did anything that good. And Jeff was always popular. Everybody loves him. He had that great feud with Randy Orton. He was like US champion. Of course, they won the tag team belts there. I think he won the IC championship once, if I'm not mistaken. And I heard he was going to be in a program with Roman Reigns at the Rumble. If that was true, that would have been great. And I've also heard rumors that he was going to be Willow. You know, his past alter ego. I think I remember him. He was in like Impact. And if that's the case, you know, if they're really going to retire and this is their final run, you know, good for them. We're gonna miss them, but at the same time, they're not as how they were back in the day. They're not the same Hardys from the late 90s, from the early 2000s, from the mid 2000s, even like 2015. They're getting older, and it's, you know, shocking to say that they're finally probably gonna give up the boots. You know, Jeff Hardy probably got that idea that, you know what, this might be my final run, and the WWE, even though I might get a good pay, you know, he's probably like, Jeff probably just wants to, you know, wrestle one last time. He's probably gonna go, if he does go back to the WWE, it's gonna be for the final time. He's gonna have one final, like couple of final matches, and then he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. And if he does deserve it, because, you know, he was popular at one point. 2008, 2009 Jeff Hardy, he was super over. He was rivaling John Cena in merchandise, so that's how over he was, you know. And if this is his final time, you know, wrestling, not just Jeff, I feel like Matt might wrestle a little bit more, but if it is Jeff Hardy's final time wrestling and the last time we'll see the Hardy Boys, now hopefully they can make the fans happy. That's honestly all I wish. That's honestly all the things I can say about, you know, this subreddit. You know, Cody Rhodes leaving AEW, shocking. Lita coming back, Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back, that's shocking. Jeff Hardy retiring, the Hardy Boys aren't gonna be wrestling anymore, that's gonna be hard to see, you know, say goodbye. Yeah, you know, all that I learned in this video and this little bit of the subreddit is that we're getting old, and a lot of our heroes are getting old, and they're finally like doing their final thing. That's honestly sad to see, man. But I don't want to end this in a sad note, so there's a clip of Randy Orton wiping his boogers on Triple H's hand, and honestly, that's the only thing I can show you guys right now. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.